Hi everyone, Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm, and you're probably wondering what I'm holding in these tongs and why tongs. Well, this is the prickly pear fruit from the Eastern Prickly Pear cacti. And basically, I'm going to show you how to harvest the pads. The leaves, the nodes are called pads, and how you can propagate them. And Taylor on her channel is going to show you how to deal with these very painful fruit that is so healthy. So let's talk about it. You're probably wondering, hey, you live in the Midwest. Our temperatures this weekend are getting down to 10 degrees. How can you have a cacti in your area? Well, the prickly pear cactus actually is 3 million years old, and it came from South America. And then with the land bridge, animals would eat the fruit, especially birds, and when they migrated north, they would spread the seeds. And then it went into South America to North America, Mexico, really big in Texas. And then with the Ice Age, it had to adapt. This is probably the most adaptable plant because it's a cacti and it lives, well, there's two species that live in Canada. And it's so hardy that they did a test and they put a bunch of them in liquid nitrogen and then they let it slowly dethaw. 50% handled that. I mean, normally they could handle negative 50 degrees, negative 30 would be better, but this is one tough cacti. So let's put our boots on and I'll meet you at the river. We're along the river of the Merrimack, and there's a whole patch of the prickly pear. These are the Eastern Prickly Pear. Now, how can it handle the cold? Well, wait till we get back home, and I have some stories about it. But right now, I want to show you how you harvest it. So you take a tong, and these are called pads, and then you put one underneath, and you just twist, and then that's it. It just comes off, and then you put it into a bag. So let me get a couple and I'll meet you back at the farm. All right, these are the ones we just harvested, and you can see how wrinkly they are. The reason they're wrinkly is before winter, they lose all their water and they suck in because they don't want to freeze and burst like a pipe. This is one, and I can pick it up, that looked like this that we harvested somewhere else, more like Waco, and it looks wonderful. So what I did is I just put this in the dirt. Well, first I put it in water and I let it absorb some water. I do it different than other people. And then I let this dry because we were in the transport time where we were still going. And then I took one that had flipped over in the storms, and we're going to transplant that. This one was so dehydrated and brown that I just put it in water and let it refill up, and then I put it just dry like this. So, do you have to dry them? This is the deal. If you harvest in the winter and they don't have any water, you could put them in damp soil. If you're harvesting in hot times when it's dry and they look like this, you could take them and just put them directly into a sandy mix and don't water them. Or you could let them harden off on the bottom, then put them in a pot with water. Well, for me, why do you want to take more time? I just put it in dry. So what I do is I have a mixture with perlite. Perlite just keeps it from basically loose. And then I'm going to put some on the bottom, and I'm going to put some sand in there. And the sand will basically wash in. Now, originally these weren't meant to have soil. They are meant to have more sandy conditions. But as they progressed up north, they adjusted. Now, I have an awful lot. Taylor's going to show you how you could eat these and stuff like this. So now, I'm just going to take this pad and I'm going to put it here. Make sure this is pretty firm. And then I'm going to maybe add a little more. Okay, the rest of this is all sand. And then I just pack it with some sand and don't get poked like that. Now, there's enough water in here that these will hydrate again. And that's it. Then you're done. Put it in a warm area, maybe a sunny window. Well, not too sunny at first. Let the roots get in there. And that's it. But these plants are so invasive, they're hard to kill. That was a real problem in Australia. So I think 1788, they were brought over because the fruits were going to be used with this bug to make dye for the soldiers' uniforms. Pretty soon, it was the worst invasion of a plant ever seen. And so they actually the queen put out a 5,000 or 5,000 pound reward back in the early 1900s. Nobody could come up with a method to kill it. Then she doubled it to 10,000 pounds. And again, nobody could come up. They tried to burn it. It came back. They tried everything. Digging them up. It didn't work. So the problem is they really didn't have the bees. They had the birds that were passing the seeds everywhere. And so finally they came back to South America and Mexico and all that, and they said, how come you don't have this problem? Turns out we have 2 insects that will go in and just devastate the plant. That's why ours is more controlled. But okay, now let me show you how to do the big one. I want to take some of this out. I'm just putting this in right now and I'll finish the rest. Now, to eat the fruit, it's amazing. You have to burn the outside because it has little hairs that you can't see. Okay, is this so cool looking? Okay, it's in. All right, also, if you have any dogs and stuff and you're worried about this, you could actually prune these so they're not so sharp. And maybe I'll do a video on this. I don't want to cut these right now until this is really rooted in. But let me finish these and I'll show you the end. So we finished. This is what they look like. I think these are really cool. Now some of these I doubled. The reason I did, in a few weeks, I'm going to pull them to see if they have any roots. And that's how you test. If they move right out, then it's not ready. But I might even wait a month and a half. And these, what am I going to do with these? Taylor's going to show you on her channel how to eat the fruit and talk about the health benefits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these straight down in water and let them hydrate back up so they look like this and this one. But more interesting fact on these, while everybody is trying to get rid of them, I think Oregon, California, there's a bunch of states, it's illegal to take the fruit or the pads. They're trying to get rid of it. And Texas has the most in the state. They have over 20 just in Texas. And they really like it, which is a great thing because they're finding out the fruits are so important to diabetics, diabetes too. And it's gonna be the new medicine for that. So now you'll see everybody. But for me, I just want house plants, and if it fruits, I'll be very happy because I love the fruit. This is Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. Thumbs up and share my channel. Have a great new year.